into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, give them a good squeeze in. And then with both knees into the chest, keep the right knee, extend the left leg long onto the mat. And hug the right knee in close, wiggle the toes, roll the ankle, point and flex the foot. And as you wiggle them around, go both or any and all directions. After you completed moving the right foot, keep hugging the right knee in, but ground down through the left thigh. Draw the left toes back, giving yourself a nice good stretch, perhaps through the groin, through the hip flexors. And then from here, you can release your left hand to the hip and start moving your right leg around in circles. Big circles, small circles. Make sure you go both directions. So because we worked so hard just a few moments ago on finding breath, continue to breathe through the movements. And then hug the knee back in close when you find yourself pretty happy from both directions of circles. Then take your fingers, interlace them behind your right thigh. Take the thigh, press it into the hand so that your knee stacks directly above your hip. And then ground down more through your left thigh as you kick the toes of the right foot forward towards the front of the room and then slightly up towards the sky. Now the leg doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Just see if you can resist the hands into the back of your hamstring as you push the hamstring into the hands. Let the head, neck, and shoulders stay firmly grounded onto the floor, and then reach through the toes as if you were going to touch the ceiling. Take your awareness to your right hip. See if you can draw your right hip down towards the front right corner of the mat. And take a few deep breaths here as you pull your hands into your thigh and press your thigh a little bit deeper into your hands. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and then out through the nose. The next time you exhale, draw the belly button in towards your spine. Lift your head, heart, neck, and shoulders up by the guidance of your abdomen. Keep the right hip drawing down and away from you, and then inhale, release the head, heart, neck, and shoulders back down to the floor. And then do that again. Exhale, draw the belly button in, lift the head, heart, neck, and shoulders up. And then inhale, release the head, heart, neck, and shoulders back down. Good. Hug the right knee into your chest, and then slide the left foot onto the floor so the left knee is bent. Cross the right foot on top of the left knee. You can let the arms rest down next to the side for a second and just notice your hip points and sit bone on the ground. Make sure that you're not shifting your weight too much into one hip or the other. And then if you feel compelled, you can draw the left knee close to the chest as you interlace your fingers behind the left thigh this time. Press the thigh into the hands. Keep the right toes flexed back towards the knee so you don't hurt the knee joint. And if you'd like, you can push the right knee away from you with your right forearm as you draw the left knee closer towards your chest. Now, the legs are going to be moving towards you. See if you can keep the sit bone and sacrum closer to the earth. Find your breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath, that it's equally as long as it was when you did the breath practice a few minutes ago. After about 2 to 3 breaths here, lying on your back, maybe stretching out the outer right hip, you can release the left foot to the ground. Release the hands, uncross the legs, bring the right knee back into the chest, re-extend the left leg out long. Then reach the right arm out like a T, take the left hand to the right thigh, and twist the torso and leg over towards the left. Keep the shoulder blades firmly grounded onto the earth, and if you want, gaze over with your eyes towards your right thumb. And see if you can start to pull your right hip down towards the front left heel. And the next time you exhale, draw the belly button in, roll to your back, take your right knee with you, place the right foot onto the ground, keep the knee bent, and then hug the left knee into the chest. When you get the left knee into the chest, squeeze the knee in with your hands, extend the right leg out straight. And we'll move to the other side, so wiggle the toes, roll the ankle, point and flex the foot. And then after you find the foot, ankle, toes pretty happy, ground down through the right leg. Let the right toes move up towards the sky, hug the left knee in a little closer. It's a nice stretch through the front of the hip. Then from there, interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. Press the thigh into the hands so the knee is moving away from you, stacking right on top of its respective hip. And then from there, flex through the toes, push forward through the foot, and then up towards the sky. And then even if the leg doesn't come perfectly straight, like on the other side, see if you can resist the hamstring into the hands. And at the same time, the hands draw the hamstring back. So it's a little bit of a tug of war. Let the shoulders move away from the ears. Let the chin still tuck slightly towards the chest so that the back of the neck stays long. And if you can think about it, see if you can shift the left hip down and towards the front right corner of the mat. Keep grounding through the right thigh. Keep drawing the right toes towards the sky. Stay engaged in both of the legs. Take an exhaling breath. At the end of the exhale, draw the belly button in towards the spine. Lift the head, heart, neck, and shoulders up towards the shin. And then inhale, release the head, heart, neck, and shoulders back down. And do that again. Exhale, draw the belly button in, lift the head, heart, neck, and shoulders up. Push the thigh into the hands. And then inhale, release the head, heart, neck, and shoulders back down. Do one more. Exhale, lifts you up. And then inhale, extend the spine back down. Good. From here, release the back of the left thigh, bend the right knee, cross the left foot on top of the right thigh. Remember, pause here for a second. You can even put your hands on your hip bones and notice if your hips are shifted from one side to the other. When you find that they're pretty balanced, then you can start to draw your right knee close towards your chest, interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. Use the left forearm to press the left thigh away from you as you hug the right knee closer towards your chest. Now just notice if you're shifting more to one hip than the other. See if you can find yourself pretty neutral on the ground. Continue to tuck the chin slightly more towards the throat so the back of the neck stays long and the spine stays at its maximum length. Remember to breathe, flex the left toes back so that they support the knee. There's no knee strain here. Then the next time you exhale, release the right foot to the ground, hug the left knee back into the chest, extend the right leg long. Then take a hold of the left knee with the right hand, extend the left arm out like a T, and then cross the body with the left thigh for a twist. And then when you get over to the twist, maybe you release your head so it looks over to your left thumb. If that doesn't feel good, then don't do it. Keep your head neutral, right in line with the spine. The next time you exhale, draw the belly in, roll to your back. Take your left knee with you, bring the right knee up to meet the left. You can either rock over to the side or roll yourself up to sit. When you get to seated, turn around, come back into all fours or come into all fours. Place the wrists directly underneath the shoulders and the knees directly underneath the hips. So when you look back, your knees will not be touching. They'll be about 1 to 2 fist distance apart. The toes can be flat to the earth or curled under, that's your choice. Either way, root into the palms of the hands. So if you're actually looking at the video and not listening, you'll see that if you don't root into the hands, the shoulders will slump. So press into the palms of the hands so you can fill the space behind the shoulder girdle. And then draw the belly button in towards the spine like you did when you were on your back. So you can feel the belly pull up and the weight of the hands get a little bit lighter. Then we'll move through cat and cow. Use the inhale, soften the skin of the belly, pull the chest forward between the biceps. And then exhale, chin to chest, round the upper back body. We'll do this a couple times. Inhale, pulling the heart through. Exhale and press the ground away, tuck the chin towards your throat. Round the upper back. And then maybe once more. Inhaling, pulling through. Good. Exhaling, drawing the chin towards the chest, rounding the upper back. Maybe even taking the tailbone back down towards the knees. Good. Then inhale, extend the spine back towards neutral, belly draws in. And then slide the right leg back behind you, keep the toes touching the ground. And then fire up through the right thigh to lift the heel in line with your bum. Then root down into your right hand and left shin to float the left arm up in line with your ear. Take an exhale, just like cat and cow, round the upper back body, take the elbow and knee to meet. Inhale, extend the arm and the leg long. 2 more, exhale, rounding the upper back. Inhale, extending, finding length. Exhale, elbow and knee to meet. Inhale, extend. Good, lower the left hand down, draw the knee in towards the chest, place the right foot between the hands. We're going to move towards a little bit of a lunge. So you want to scooch the foot forward so you can bend deep into the knee. Now, when you bend into the knee, I take the left toes, curl them under a little bit so you can catch the skin on top of the left knee. And then drag the left knee towards the right heel so you can feel the alignment in the pelvis. And you get really light onto your fingertips. And then as you get light onto the fingertips, you pull the shoulder blades down the back and reach the chest forward. Maybe you take a few deep breaths here. So the next time you inhale, I want you to shift your hips back so that the hips come above the knee. And then exhale, bend into the front knee. Come back into the lunge. And do that again. Inhale, shift the hips back. Start to extend into the front leg so it becomes almost straight. It might be really bent. And then exhale, bend into the knee. And do it again. Inhale, shift the hips back. Extend the leg towards straight. Exhale, bend into the knee. This time we're going to shift back and stay there. So you only shift back as far as the hips go above the knee. Then you can scooch the right foot forward so you can come on to the ball of the right heel. Now, if you keep your fingers so forward, your back is going to arch and round. So walk the fingertips back so they support the shoulders right underneath them. And then just like a car tractioning the wheels backwards to move forward, pull the fingertips back so the chest reaches forward towards the tips of the toes. Now, if you're unable to fully straighten the leg, that's perfect. You're going to keep the knee micro bent. Draw the right hip down and hug it underneath you. Maybe you'll start to pull the hip back and stretch the chest more forward. Still tuck the chin towards your throat. Now, you might have a lot of sensation in your hamstring, so your knee will be as bent as you need it to be in order to get the spine really long. So for instance, if your leg is straight and your spine is super rounded, then that's not the pose, and it's not doing you any benefit. So bend as much as you need to in the knee to stretch the chest forward, pull the shoulder blades down, and then eventually you can work the leg to straight. Just not yet sometimes. Then we're going to take an exhaling breath, roll back through the front foot, bend into the knee. Let the left hand come underneath the left shoulder, plant the hand to the ground. Take your right hand to the hip and the thigh where it meets, and then pull the hip back, stretch the chest forward, and then twist the torso open towards your right. And then if you want to, you can float the right arm up high to the sky, or you can keep the right hand on your hip. Hug the right knee towards the chest. And then on the exhale, unwind. You can lower the right hand, slide the right knee back to meet the left. And so we'll meet up in all fours again. From all fours, left leg slides back, keep the toes curled under. Just notice if the belly wants to sag or the hip wants to sag, draw up. Press the palms down, draw the belly in. And then float the left heel up in line with your bum. Then float the right arm out. And perhaps you exhale, meet the elbow and knee somewhere around the middle of the body. Inhale, extend. And do that 2 more times. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, extending. Good. Lower the right hand down, draw the knee in towards the chest, place the left foot between the hands. And then scooch the left foot forward enough that you can take the tailbone underneath you and move the hips forward into a deeper lunge. So then you'll catch the skin on top of the back knee, and then draw the knee forward towards the front left heel. Get really light onto the fingers. Start to draw the shoulder blades down the back and lift the chest. This should expose your front right hip. Another word for saying your hip flexor might be yelling at both of us right now. Then use the breath, and next time you inhale, shift the hips back, extend the front leg towards straight. Walk the hands back, come to the heel if you'd like. Exhale, roll forward, bend into the front knee. Inhale, shift the hips back, extend the front leg towards straight. Exhale, roll forward, come into the knee. Bend it deep, get into the lunge. Then inhale, shift the hips back. Draw the toes back if you'd like. Exhale, we'll come forward. Let's do one more. Inhale, shift the hips back. Extend the front leg towards straight. Now pause. Keep the knee micro bent. Reach the torso forward. And then maybe you scooch the left foot forward to come onto the ball of the left heel. Draw all 5 of the toes back. Take the left hip down and in towards the center of the body. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Take the shoulder blades down the back. Tuck the chin towards the throat. And then find the deepest breath you can so that the hamstring will not yell at us anymore. Take an exhale, roll through the front foot, bend into the knee. Put the right hand underneath the right shoulder, plant it to the ground. Take the left hand to the hip, pull the hip back, stretch the chest forward, and then twist the torso up towards the sky, going to the left direction. Maybe you float the left arm up towards the sky. Maybe you keep the hand right onto your hip. And then exhale, unwind, lower the left hand. Take the left foot back to meet the right. Allow your big toes to touch, allow the knees to open wide, and sit the hips back for a moment, child's pose. Good. From child's pose, plant the hands, curl the toes under, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, you can pedal out the legs. So bend into one knee, stretch the other heel towards the ground. And then switch. Inhale, and then exhale, bend into the other knee, stretch the other heel towards the ground. And if you want to go back and forth, vacillating between the two, you can do that. And then find yourself in a moment of stillness. Let both heels rest towards the ground. Just like when you are in all fours, inhale, float the right leg up towards the sky. Keep it hip level. On the exhale, draw the knee into the chest, round the upper back body. Take the right foot between the hands for a lunge. And then heel to the right foot slightly to the right so your outer arch touches your right thumb. Stay in a runner's lunge. So you're going to bend deep into the front knee, but power up the back leg. Get light onto the fingertips. Reach forward with your chest. So we'll move dynamically like we did before. On the inhale, lift the hips back, extend the front leg towards straight. On the exhale, bend into the front knee. And do that again. Inhale, shift the hips back, extend the front leg towards straight. Exhale, bend into the front knee. And then inhale, shift the hips back. Exhale, bend into the front knee. One more time. Then bend into the front knee. This time you're going to lower the left knee back down onto the ground. Catch the skin on top of the knee. Stay high onto the fingertips. Reach forward with your chest, and then see if you can lift the left toes off the ground. Flex the heel. Draw this, what is this called? Heel towards your seat. So you're not using your hands to pull it towards your butt. You're using the strength of your hamstring to open up the front of your left leg. Keep reaching. Keep lifting the chest. And then exhale, lower the left foot down. Fire up the back leg. Press the hands into the earth. Step the right foot back, coming into downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side. So left foot steps up. About hip level behind you. As you exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Place the left foot between the hands. Widen the left foot just a little bit and bend deep into the left knee. Look forward with your chest. Get light onto your fingertips. Fire up the back leg. Then inhale, shift the hips back. Extend the front leg towards straight. Good. Exhale, bend into the front knee. Inhale, hips shift back, front leg extends. Exhale, bend into the front knee. 2 more times. Good. Last time, exhale, bend into the front knee, hold. Lower the right knee down to the earth. Then reach the chest forward and through the biceps. Get light onto the fingers. Now fire up the hamstring so you can kick the seat with your heel. Keep energized in the toes. Keep the chest reaching forward. Squeeze the heel towards your seat so the hamstring is used to open up the front of the hip. Good. Lower the right toes down. Fire up the back leg. This time I want you to walk your fingers towards the right so both of your toes are facing in one direction. Your hands will come to the earth. Please make sure that the outer arches of the feet are parallel to if you have a mat, outer edges of the mat. Otherwise, they're parallel to each other. Then inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hug the inner thighs towards each other as you fold forward. Now you can walk the hands back, keep the shoulders away from the ears, and allow the torso to stay long. I'm going to do a twist while we're here. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Walk your hands in front of you. Let the hands come directly underneath the shoulders, and then right hand takes the center. Left hand comes to the small of your back. So continue to look forward with your chest. Inhale. Exhale, twist the torso open toward your left. And then just stay hugging the legs in, reaching the torso long, and think about leaning your heart back towards the wall behind you. And then exhale, unwind, switch sides. Left hand comes to the center, right hand comes to the small of your back. Inhale, lengthen, get high on top of the fingertips, long in the spine, and then exhale, twist the torso towards the right. Exhale, unwind, lower the hands. Walk the hands back over to your left foot. Curl to the ball of the back toes. Bend into the front knee, lower the right knee down. This time, heel toe your left foot over to the left so both of your hands can come in between the foot. Now, catch the skin on top of the back knee, place the right toes down, reach the chest forward. Now, if you're here and you decide you have more space, you can crawl your right forearm down and follow it with your left. Keep hugging the left knee towards the left shoulder and stretching the torso forward, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. If you get down here and decide that it's too far because you can't breathe, by all means, come back to the hands. So we're going to do that hamstring use for the front of the quad stretch one more time. So even if your hands are lifted or if you're down onto your forearms, you're going to kick the seat with your right heel one more time. Then if you'd like, you can keep either your right forearm or hand on the ground, reach back with your left hand and find your foot. Then on the exhale, release the left hand and right foot. Come back to the center. Lift the torso up. Curl the back toes under. We're going to go back to the right. This time you'll just walk all the way around till your right toes are pointing forward and your left toes are behind you. Then bend into the front knee, lower your left leg down. Heel toe your right foot to the right. Come both hands to the inside of the right foot and then stretch the back leg long. Inhale, lengthen the torso. You can stay here or you can slide down to the forearms. Either way, once you get there, pause and breathe. Lengthen. Then you'll catch the skin on top of the back knee so you can kick the heel towards your seat. Then once you're there, you can rest some weight onto your left hand. Reach up and around with your right hand and find your foot. And then once you have your foot, kick your foot into your hand into your foot. So that way it starts to actively release itself. Then exhale, unwind. Lower the hand, curl the back toes under, fire up the back leg, step the right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath, inhale. On the exhale, lower the knees, sit back to the heels, child's pose. This one, if you want to take that your knees are together and you can rest the arms down next to your side so the shoulders can roll over the top of the knee. A few deep breaths. Good. Slide your hands underneath the shoulders. Lift the chest. So when you get here, you're ready to scooch forward so you can take the toes and curl them under. And then for some people, you have to reach back and make sure that the toes are wide, split apart from each other. Now, if you pay particular attention to the ankles, sometimes they like to shoot away from each other. So walk the big toes closer towards each other and hug the ankles in. Then you can start to walk the hands back towards the knees. Then you can start to walk them up the thighs. Maybe you can come to sit tall on top of the heels. Just notice if the rib cage and chest wants to go forward. See if you can pull everything up and back so you can sit the sit bones right on top of the heels. Hug the heels in. This is probably my least favorite thing to do. Don't worry, it'll only be a few more moments. Deep breaths, inhale and exhale. It's imperative that you stretch the bottom of the feet. Then on your next exhale, walk forward, release the toes, flatten them to the earth. Then the same thing you'll do, sit back onto your shins if you can, so you can rest the weight of your sit bones on your heels. Now your feet might be doing the same thing underneath you, so see if you can hug the ankle bones in towards each other. Now this could be enough. If you want a little more, you can stretch the hands back underneath the shoulders. Maybe that's enough. If you want to go a little further, you press down into the tops of the feet so the knees lift off the floor, maybe 1 inch, maybe no more than 6 inches. But it gives the top of the feet a good stretch. It's really important to keep the feet supple. Then on the exhale, release the knees back to the ground. Shift your seat over to one side and swivel the legs out in front of you. We're almost there. Extend the legs towards straight. Sit up tall. Now, if you sit up and the natural tendency of the body is to round, and it's almost impossible for you to sit on top of your sit bones, get a blanket or a pillow that you can prop up underneath your butt so that your hips sit higher than your knees. Then from there, take your left foot, place it to the inside of your right thigh, and then frame your shin with your fingers. Inhale, lift the torso, draw the right foot back into the hip socket, and exhale, fold forward. I'm only going to be here for a moment. See if you can put your hands either side of the shins, even if they're back here somewhere, to pull the earth towards you so you can lengthen the spine long. And maybe you find the way to fold, keeping the spine really long. That's what's most important. Then inhale, lift the torso, rise up to sit. Bring the left knee up skyward, cross the left foot over the top of the right knee. Then make sure your sit bones are grounded into the earth. Sit tall on the inhale. Now without looking, slide the left hand behind you, somewhere so it mimics the length of your spine. Press the fingertips into the earth on the inhale, and then on the exhale, just twist the torso open towards the left. And then when you twist, maybe you can wrap the bicep around the left knee. And then maybe you sit even more tall and twist a little deeper towards the left. Keep the right toes flexed back. Keep the sit bones grounded. Hug the left knee into the chest. And then exhale, unwind, untwist. Uncross the legs, let's switch sides. So right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. Move the flesh out from underneath the left leg. Get high into the fingertips outside of the shin. Inhale, sit tall. And then exhale, call the torso forward. And then maybe you don't go so deep, but most importantly, the spine stays long. So if you're rounded into the spine, then back up a little bit, pull the spine to straight, and then fold as deeply as you can, only with the spine long. Keeping the chin slightly tucked towards the throat, as if you could reach through the crown of the head and touch the tips of your toes. Now they may never get there, but that's the idea. And then inhale, sit the torso tall. Use the right hand to lift the right knee up. Cross the foot over the top of the knee. So the ankle and the knee are in the same line. Hands to shins. Lift tall, sit above the hips, crown of the head reaches, slide the right hand behind the back. And then press the fingertips into the earth as you inhale, and as you exhale, twist the torso open this time towards the right. Then maybe you hook and grab the left bicep around the knee. So the left toes stay pointed towards the sky, the left quad is engaged. The right thigh is hugging in towards the belly, and the right hip is dropping down towards the ground. All of this is happening and you're twisting your torso around to face perhaps the wall to your right or even behind you. With an exhale, unwind, come back to center, extend both legs long for just a moment. Then from here, bring the knees up and let them butterfly out to the sides. So from here, if you would, draw the heels as close to the pelvis as your body will allow, and then find your fingers to interlace around the tips of the toes. And either switch forward or backwards enough that you can create length in your spine. Inhale. And then exhale, lead the torso forward, only until the back wants to round. There is a pose that you can do this in where the back is rounding, but not today. Today we're going to have the spine extended long. And if you want, you can press the forearms into the shins and then press the shins back up into the forearms. And keep the neck long, crown of the head reaching. Breath is really full. And inhale, sit the torso tall. Lift up, both hands come to the outsides of the knees. Bring the knees together, extend the legs out long. When you get the legs out long, roll all the way onto your back. Keeping the knees pointing skyward, this time walk your feet to the edges of the mat. Or if you don't have a mat, then just slightly wider than the width of your hips. Extend the arms out like a T. If you don't have enough room where you're at, you can bend the elbows, and so your arms look like goalposts. Then on the exhale, see if you can take both knees and drop them over to the right side. So it'll be like windshield wipers. The feet are wide, and the knees are windshield wipering over towards the right. Inhale, and draw the knees back to skyward. Exhale, both knees come to the left. And then do that again. Inhale, both knees come skyward. Exhale, both knees to the right. Inhale, both knees come skyward. Exhale, both knees to the left. One more time. Inhale, lift the knees skyward. Exhale, both knees to the right. We're going to stay here for just a moment. So as both knees come to the right, if it feels okay, you can turn your head and look over towards your left elbow or wrist. Then just see the breath move into your left rib cage, as if it were a big balloon. Every time you inhale, it expanded the sides of the waist. And every time you exhale, you can settle into the pose just a little bit more. And then inhale, turn the head back to skyward, let the knees travel back up to the sky. Exhale, both knees move towards the left. And as both knees settle down towards the ground, take a deep breath and then turn your head, if you'd like, towards the right. Then you breathe the breath over into your right rib cage. When you inhale, see the side waist expand like a balloon from your hips to your ribs, from your ribs to your armpit. Exhale, you can sink a little bit deeper into the pose. And then inhale, turn the head back to skyward, lift both knees up towards the sky. Keep the feet wide and just let the knees knock together for a second. So if you close your eyes and just let the body breathe, you'll feel that the low back will start to take shape again. There should be a little bit of resistance that you feel with your rib cage on the ground, and then a little space where the low back arches. Then you meet the tailbone to the earth that's grounding you, and then your feet. If you can, breathe really deeply into your abdomen like you did with your breath practice just a few moments ago. Inhale, fill into the pit of the belly. Exhale, draw the belly button in towards the spine. Let all of the air out. Continue this breath in and out through the nose. And then when you feel compelled, you can extend the legs towards straight. Allow the arms to rest down next to the sides. Move the shoulder blades wide across the back. Tuck the chin towards the throat. Let the back of the head rest softly on the earth. Close the eyes. Open the jaw really wide. And then let it swivel around in its joint a few times so you know you're not clenching the jaw. And let the teeth slightly part, the lips slightly part, and let the tongue rest evenly at the bottom of your mouth. Take a deep breath in through the nose, open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, open the mouth, exhale, let it go. And last time, inhale through the nose, open the mouth, let it go. Good. Close the lips and allow the breath to breathe you naturally. You'll rest in this pose for just a few moments to allow the body to integrate everything up to this point. If your mind starts to wander, come back to your breath. Take rest, let go, and enjoy. Start to deepen into your breath. Bring awareness back to your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe roll your wrists and your ankles. And if you'd like, you can shift your head a little from side to side. If you feel the need, you can take a full body stretch to reach your arms up and overhead, stretching from your fingertips all the way down to your toes. And then as you exhale, you can hug your knees into your chest, one at a time or both together, giving yourself a nice big hug. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then you'll rock over to your right side. Use the strength of your hands to press yourself all the way up. Come to seated. Thanks for taking the time to spend on your physical practice. You can do this in the morning, in the evening, 3 days a week, 5 days a week. And then when you're ready for more time, let me know and I'll create a longer video. Until then,